Offseason is filled with beautiful moments.
Yeah.
Tone has a question, Lombo.
Yeah, Lombo, bit of a game here. What do you think someone wanted to do less? And we're talking about Bill Belichick, and that was, do you think he wanted to do the draft spectacular less, or do you think he wanted to do that shot with Robert Kraft on the stage at Tom Brady's roast less?
I think he probably enjoyed being around you guys than the roast. I would think so. I mean,
he crushed at the roast.
Yeah, I mean, but look, I think it was awkward. It was uncomfortable. I haven't watched the roast yet at all. I won't. I haven't. But listen to what Julian said after the roast. I've heard his comments because I love Julian. I listened to what he said. You could feel the tension within the building. But how could you not feel the tension? I mean, the 10-part infomercial that was produced on Apple was exactly destroying. I mean, I don't even know. I got to check and see if Bill was even in the office for those 24 years. It's kind of remarkable. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Can we check his time card there and see if it got stamped? We might want to, because he obviously wasn't there, and that game plan that beat the Rams in the first Super Bowl and the game plan that beat the Rams in the second Super Bowl, I'm sure that somebody from the Kraft family must have put that in and then got it going.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's
here.
talking about how smart Bill Belichick is. That information was all funneled to him from Jonathan.
Of course.
So that was
It had to be. That's why you have to go back. It's like the Kennedy. You got to go to the Warren Commission and look at the timestamps on the data collection. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Do we have any more updates on that whole thing? I saw you getting into it with somebody who had somebody.
I always get into it. Posner. He wrote the worst book in the history. It's called Case Closed. It's filled with lies, complete lies. Okay. So we don't want to go down that road. My wife gets mad at me every time I go down that road. But here's
you are very passionate on that particular road, though.
Yes.
Most I've ever met. I
paving that road.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, in the front.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we deserve the right to know. We lost too many people at Vietnam because of it, and they deserve the right to know. So, but that's a whole other situation. I just think, to me, one of the things you want to do, and I wrote about this for the Daily Coach, the Minnesota Vikings kept Bud Grant's office intact as an honor to him. He went to 4 Super Bowls for the franchise. He was, these players in Minnesota have no idea who Bud Grant was. They just know he's a guy that would sit outside in the cold with no shirt on, with no coat on, That's all they know. They don't know what he did. But that Will family paying respects to him because of the contributions he made to the franchise that they didn't know when he owned it. To me, that's really classy.
Okay.
And to have that infomercial, I think is an injustice to the greatest coach of all time.
How about, should I also call him the greatest GM of all time?
Well, you can't say that because none of the players he drafted. See, Barmore just showed up there. He just went there because the campus was there. He liked Boston, and Diggs just showed up there. Yeah, Duggar just showed up there, too. It's amazing how they just got there. I don't know how the hell they did it, And why don't you add underneath this little GM thing here that says, over the last 10 years, the Patriots spent the least amount of money of cash of any team in the NFL. That's documented. That's fact. And why don't you put that underneath there?
Okay, there's a lot of other things that could potentially go on there, like, all the future Hall of Famers that are definitely right around the corner.
Yeah.
They are just, that were drafted potentially by a guy who...
But he wasn't in the building. He was probably duck hunting or something.
Okay. All right. Let's stick with that particular organization, though, because, maybe that infomercial was just the ownership telling the fans, hey, we might have lost somebody. Okay, I get it. But the future is very bright. You have all the brains still here, and maybe this was just a work for their players.
Yep.
Just like this was a work for the fans. Just like when Rick Carlisle came out and said, small-town teams are allowed to win, too.
That's right.
Everybody started, wah. That was for the players. That was for the fans saying, hey, listen, I'm with you out here. Maybe that's all the Crafts were doing because the Patriots seemingly in a great spot.